Welcome to Update Insights. Today's emergency update covers a major global conflict. On June 14 to 15, 2025, Iran launched a series of missile and drone strikes against Israel. This came as a direct retaliation to an Israeli airstrike on multiple Iranian nuclear facilities just days earlier. In this video, we explore what triggered the escalation, the scale of Iran's response, and how it has impacted Israel. Background: Israel's strike on Iranian nuclear facilities. On June 11, 2025, Israeli fighter jets reportedly carried out a surprise bombing operation targeting Iran's nuclear enrichment facilities in Natanz and Fordow. Israeli officials claimed the action was necessary to prevent Iran from reaching weapons-grade nuclear capabilities, citing intelligence that a nuclear test was imminent. The strike caused significant damage, killing several key scientists and disabling underground centrifuge systems. Iran's leadership condemned the attack and vowed swift retaliation. Within 72 hours, that promise turned into action. Iran's response: missile and drone strikes on Israel. On the nights of June 14 and 15, Iran launched a large-scale assault on Israel using ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and kamikaze drones. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard claimed responsibility, saying the attack targeted Israeli military bases, intelligence centers, and air defense systems. Key cities like Tel Aviv, Haifa, and Sheva experienced direct hits or near-miss interceptions. Israel's Iron Dome system successfully shot down many threats, but several missiles made impact, causing destruction, casualties, and nationwide panic. Casualties and infrastructure damage. The Iranian retaliation resulted in at least 17 Israeli deaths and over 80 injuries, including both military personnel and civilians. Residential areas near strategic military sites suffered collateral damage, with multiple buildings collapsing and fires breaking out. Power outages were reported across parts of Tel Aviv and northern Israel. Transport systems including railways and airports were temporarily suspended and hundreds of flights were grounded. The government declared a nationwide state of emergency while hospitals scrambled to treat the wounded. Military and political reactions from Israel. The Israeli Defense Forces (IDF) quickly launched precision airstrikes on Iranian positions in Syria and Iraq in response. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the nation, stating that Israel would not tolerate a direct attack on its soil and promised a prolonged response campaign. The military has also begun mass mobilization of reserve forces, especially along the northern border near Lebanon, fearing Hezbollah might join the conflict. Cyber units have intensified electronic warfare efforts against Iran's digital infrastructure. Public reaction and psychological impact. The Israeli public, already accustomed to conflict, now faces a new level of fear. The direct Iranian missile attacks shattered the assumption that most threats would remain proxy-based or regional. Panic buying of food, water, and fuel swept major cities. Schools have moved to remote learning and bomb shelters are operating at full capacity. Despite the fear, there is a strong sense of unity among Israeli citizens. Volunteers, medical staff, and military families have all stepped forward to support national defense efforts. Economic fallout. The financial toll of the attack is significant. The Tel Aviv Stock Exchange dropped sharply following the missile strikes, and the Israeli shekel weakened against major currencies. Critical sectors like tech and tourism have taken a hit, with many foreign investors pulling back. Emergency funding is now being redirected from public infrastructure projects to defense and emergency response. Insurance companies have flagged a spike in claims related to property damage, and economists warn of recession risk if conflict persists. Global reaction and diplomatic consequences. The United States, United Kingdom, and EU nations condemned both Israel's strike on Iran's nuclear facilities and Iran's retaliatory assault. The UN Security Council has called an emergency meeting. Gulf nations like Saudi Arabia and the UAE, while silent on Israel's initial strike, have warned against a wider regional war. Russia and China have criticized Israel's role in escalating the situation, signaling the emergence of deeper geopolitical divides. The nuclear question and Israel's preemptive strike policy is now at the center of global debate. What lies ahead? war or ceasefire. The coming days are crucial. While both Iran and Israel have flexed military muscle, the possibility of broader war looms. Analysts suggest that if Hezbollah or other Iranian-backed militias become active, a full-scale regional conflict could erupt. However, there are quiet diplomatic efforts underway through neutral channels like Switzerland and Qatar. Whether those efforts succeed will depend on how both sides weigh the cost of escalation versus the pressure of international isolation. Conclusion: a dangerous new chapter. The events of June 14 to 15, 2025 mark a historic shift in Middle Eastern warfare, the first direct missile exchange between Iran and Israel. Sparked by nuclear fears, this round of conflict has already cost lives, paralyzed economies, and shaken global peace efforts. At Update Insights, we'll continue to monitor the developments closely. Our hearts go out to all innocent civilians caught in the crossfire. For now, we hope leaders on both sides find a path to de-escalation before this conflict spirals out of control.